coming out of the NFL, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And a lot of people don't. A lot of players don't. I played 5 years. I went to school to be.
Didn't think about nothing else but football for 5 years.
I went to school to be an English teacher so I could be a football coach and a high school English teacher. When I got out of the NFL, I don't want to teach anymore. I was 23 years old, getting $17,000 checks every week, not knowing what to do with it. You know what I mean? I ended up deciding to walk on at Northern Illinois. I was a preferred walk on. After that first practice, I looked at him. I'm like, Coach, I don't feel too good. Like we had just run gassers, like, and I've never run a gasser in my life. Like we ran
gassers.
I mean, we did down and backs. We didn't do gassers down back. That's
right.
one.
That's one.
Right. The things that football has provided in my life has put me down this path. There's a lot that goes into this football stuff, but there's also equally the results of it. You know, I always say football's a means to an end, and a lot of kids don't understand that. While you're playing this game, while you're able to play this game, get everything you can out of it, because this is not a end-all be-all, but it's a head start for the rest of your life.
Yeah. You ready?
Yep.
Awesome. Welcome back, everybody, to the FBA podcast, where we discuss foundation, business, and athletics. We are located here at the 16 Tech Innovation Center in the beautiful city of Indianapolis. I'm your host. My name is Byron Jesue Hubbard II. And today, we always have a special guest on, but I am very, very excited for this conversation, to the point to where the last time we talked, I actually had to stop it so we can save more for later on. Sure. But this individual attended the University of Northern Illinois, where he played college football. He went on to continue his career in the NFL and the CFL, and now actually works at Butler University, building strategic partnerships for the university, but also participates as a coach for the Gridiron Gang. And you do a bunch of things. You do a bunch of different stuff, man. But you're also a father. You're also a husband, and those things are just as important. But Chad Spann, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no. Anything that I missed?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's little things, but no, I don't think that really matters. But yeah, you got the gist of it.
Yeah. No, but it's grateful to have you here, man. And I know that the main thing that we connect on, of course, is sports. But there's a lot more to that story. There's a lot more to that journey. So from your perspective, would like to hear your story. So your background. Yeah. Your background, where you're from. Just break it all down for us, man.
How much time do we got? No, I'm originally from the northwest side of Indianapolis. I went on to North Central High School. I played football at North Central, ran track there as well. Ended up having probably the best string of years that North Central's ever had. As far as winning games, I think we had 3 winning seasons when I was sophomore, junior, senior year. Nice. Which is the first time that they've done that in a very long time. They haven't done it since.
Probably the last time they've done it.
They haven't done it since, and so it was a time. Obviously, social media isn't what it is today.
Right.
This is the mid to late 2000s. I graduated in 2007 from high school, so I'm also very small compared to. Not today, but compared to running backs, I played running back. Back then, I'm actually fairly small. So recruiting wasn't I really wasn't heavily recruited.
Yeah.
I ended up with 2 scholarship offers. I had a full ride to Indiana State.
Nice.
At the time, Indiana State was the worst Division I football program in the country.
Jeez.
They had lost, I don't know, it was 4 seasons straight, something crazy. It was
no wins?
No wins for 4 seasons.
Not very attractive.
Yeah. So I had a scholarship offer there, full ride to go there. I also had I had partial scholarship. Marion University was actually Marion College at the time. I would have been in their inaugural class. So the very first football.
Really?
Yeah. I'd have been the very first football recruit that they had. I ended up turning both of those down. I took a visit to Northern Illinois. It's a funny story. Me and my mom, I asked my head coach for a highlight tape. My mom bought a VHS DVD converter, right? And we burned my highlights, probably 40 copies of my highlight tape.
Wow.
We jumped in the car and we drove up to Chicago and visited a few schools and started handing out my highlight tape. So worked our way over to Northern Illinois and I absolutely loved it. It was a place that, for me, it was able to, or the program was able to take small running backs like myself and put them in the NFL.
Yeah.
Examples of that. LaShawn Johnson was a 4th-round draft pick to the Green Bay Packers in the 90s. Michael Turner, which you may have heard of, led the NFL in rushing yards for the Atlanta Falcons for quite a few years. He also backed up LaDainian Tomlinson when he was in San Diego before he got to Atlanta.
It's a reasonable person to back up.
Yeah. And then the other one is a guy named Garrett Wolf. Garrett Wolf is 5'7", 170 pounds, and he led the NCAA in rushing yards 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So my junior and senior year of high school, he led the NCAA in rushing yards those years.
Wow. From NIU.
From NIU. Yeah.
Why did NIU have like a knack for not just like playing short running backs, but making sure that they had like successful, like, did they ever explain that to you?
I have no idea. It's just how it worked out. Michael Turner is about 5'9.5". They mark him at about 5'10", but he's barely 5.
He's not 5'10",
but he's 230, right? So he's heavy.
Yeah.
But at 230, he could run really fast. He ran a 4.4. So he was really, really, really fast. It's a really funny story is he was actually backing up a guy named Thomas Hammock, who is the head coach of Northern Illinois right now. Thomas Hammock was the starting running back. He got a heart condition his junior year and could no longer play football, and that's what opened the door to let Michael Turner come in, and then the rest is history there. But anyways, back to my story. I really gravitated to the coaching staff. I really gravitated to the program. So it very quickly became a place that I wanted to be. We went on to University of Illinois, went on to Illinois State, and visited those programs as well. But I really, really, really resonated with Northern Illinois. Came down to it, end of the year. I had a great season my senior year, junior and senior season of high school. Northern Illinois had already offered a running back in my class, even though they were highly recruiting me. They already recruited a running back in my class. He had already committed, and he had torn his ACL his senior year. And all of that kid's other scholarship offers were pulled because he tore his ACL. Northern Illinois decided not to pull his scholarship just because he got hurt. So that was the one running back scholarship that they had that year, and it did not go to me. But I was so convinced that this was the right program for me. This was a place that if I was not playing football any longer, if football ended for me today, this is a place where I would want to finish my education. So that was very, very, very important to me and my mother. So I ended up deciding to walk on at Northern Illinois. I was a preferred walk-on. My first day on the team was the day before the first day of camp, my freshman year. So I missed.
That's how it works for walk-ons. You just kind of like show up.
Just show up. And,
yeah.
Hey, I hope you're in shape.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah.
So, which I thought I was in shape, but I was not. Right.
It's just different.
The very first practice, I thought I had a pretty good practice. Now, mind you, I'm a walk-on running back. I'm ninth on the depth chart.
Yep.
Ninth.
Yep.
And so
literally ninth.
Ninth. Yeah. Had a practice. My number, I wear number 3, but my real number is 115 because I'm the 115th player on the team.
Hang on. Your real jersey number.
My jersey number's 3.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But I share a number with somebody who actually has a scholarship.
So you're 115. Yeah.
So I'm really. So if you look at my helmet, we have our numbers on our helmets too. It said 115 on my helmet. That's
crazy.
Yeah. So,
wow.
But yeah, I remember it was at the end of my first practice, a guy named, it was my running back coach. His name's Chris Beatty. Chris Beatty is the wide receiver.
Name sounds familiar.
He's the wide receiver coach for the Chicago Bears right now.
Yep.
He was my running back coach, and after that first practice, I look at him, I'm like, Coach, I don't feel too good. Like we had just run gassers, like, and I've never run a gasser in my life. Like we
ran gassers.
I mean, we did down and backs. We didn't do gassers down back.
That's
right?
one. That's one.
Right. So we ran like 10 of those.
You didn't know what you were doing. Your whole life was half of one.
Right. I won the first one. Like, yeah, this is nothing.
Oh my, bro.
This is nothing. And like, oh, we got 9
more. you trying to show out? It's like, yeah, I just heard to be here. It's like, oh, we have 9.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
No wonder you guys were pacing it. So I remember.
Hey, bro, slow down,
right.
Chad. Slow down, Chad.
Right. I remember I looked over at Coach Beatty, and Coach Beatty looked at me and said, "Don't you throw up on this field." And it was like trigger. As soon as he says that, I turn and I throw up all over the field.
Not a good look.
Yeah, not a good look. First day of practice as a walk-on freshman.
Yeah.
But no. Finished that story out. 10 days later, I had actually moved up the depth chart so high. I was number 3 on the depth chart on day 10 of camp, and I was on day 10. I was offered a scholarship. So I never
10 days in.
I never paid for school, but I also never signed a letter of intent. So I didn't get to have the big signing day. However, before my freshman year started, I was already on scholarship.
Wow. How did you? So, one, that the Gasser story, funny enough, I kid you not, the exact same thing happened to me when I walked out of Purdue.
Okay.
It was my first day of practice, and we ran what they call them jingle jangles. It's 15 yards. It's like 5 back, 10 back, 15 back. And I'm literally, I'm sprinting. Yeah. I'm going back, and they're like, Byron, slow down, because we have 10 of these. Yeah. And by the third one, my legs just stopped working. Yeah. But no, like, it's funny that you have this story, because the exact same thing happened to me. But what was going through your head? Like, what was your plan going? Like, was your plan to, like, get a scholarship as quickly as possible? Was it, like, because I'm sure you didn't plan on to get a scholarship on the 10th day.
Sure.
Right. So what was your plan, like, going in? Because, like, you're not on scholarship. You were going to have to, like, pay for school. Like, you were willing to sacrifice that for the opportunity to finish your career and have your education at NIU?
Yep. It was, a lot of it was just, like, unrealistic confidence in myself.
Almost delusional
confidence in myself. Well, I guess it wasn't that delusional, but
it worked out now.
It worked out, but I just like knew like once I get there, I'm gonna work my butt off, and I'm going to earn a scholarship. Like it's going to happen, and that's just the mindset that I took. Now when I got there. And I'm sitting in my first position meeting because you don't have position meetings in high school, at least not when I was in high school. I mean, we would have offensive meetings, but we didn't have like this room is specifically for running backs, and all 9 running backs are going to sit here with the coach. We're going to watch film and all that kind of stuff. So, something that like kind of made me stand out in high school, besides the fact that I was pretty good, was the fact that like I knew the offense in and out, right? So. As the running back, I started in high school. I started as a sophomore, and by my senior year, I knew the offense so well that I could call the plays. Like I would huddle up. I'm in the very, very, very back of the huddle as a running back, and I would look over at the sideline. I would signal to the coach what play I wanted.
What?
He would signal that play back to the quarterback, and then we'd call that play. I had a pretty good knack of just like understanding what was
like what play would work in this situation.
In this situation, based on how they're playing, and not all of them were runs. Like yes, I'm the running back, but
so you were the offensive coordinator as like
in a way
in high school.
Yeah, in a way, it was a lot of it was like, hey. We done ran ISO 3 times. I'm tired. Throw slants. So it was stuff like that. But I took that same kind of framework into college. So instead of I understood all the passes. I also played wide receiver as a sophomore. So when I started as a sophomore, we ran 3 running backs, kind of a wing tee, but we didn't do wing tee stuff.
Wing tee.
It was more run and shoot, right? So, but we lined up with 2 slots and a fullback, and sometimes we would go to I formation. And when we went to I formation, I, being the third and the youngest running back, would move to slot receiver. So I played a lot of slot receiver. So I had to understand the passing game too.
Yep.
So, fast forward to, my freshman year of college, we had a brand new offensive coordinator that year. My running back coach is brand new as well.
So everybody's starting fresh.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Garrett Wolf, the starting running back, who All-American, 2-time led the nation in rushing. He just got drafted into the NFL. So it is everybody in the room is fighting for an opportunity.
Yeah. And everybody's starting from ground zero.
So what I was able to do was, our running back coach naturally he was a CFL wide receiver. He was a former offensive coordinator. He coached Percy Harvin in high school. He's from Virginia. So he was Percy Harvin's offensive coordinator in high school. And then he came to us. He was an offensive coordinator at Hampton. Then he came to us as our running back coach. Now, like I said, he was a wide receiver coach for the Chargers, and now he's with the Bears. But the way that he made us understand or learn the game was you're going to understand the pass protection. You're going to understand the passing concept. You're going to understand everything that's going on. And so that's something I thrived in, where these other guys, this is their first time having to understand what the pass game is. A
lot of them just got handed the ball and said, run.
Right, right. So, I remember it was, it was probably the first or second week, our running back coach asked the senior, he was a junior, but he was going to be the starting running back, to write a pass play on the board, and he couldn't do it. And then I went up there and and I drew it up. This is exactly how it goes. And now I got a target on my back.
That's how it works.
Now I got a target on my back. So that same guy, his name's Montel, great, ended up being a good friend of mine. Kind of a really good mentor for me as well. But it was later, it must have been that same day at practice where we're warming up and he's looking at my gloves. Freshmen, we get all the new stuff, right?
Right.
And back then, the older guys, they had to wait till their stuff ripped before they could get new gloves. Oh, yeah. So, we were sponsored by Adidas, but, not everybody was going to get everything whenever you want it. There's going to be a need before I give you some new stuff.
Yeah.
So all the freshmen got brand new stuff because, it's our first time on campus. So that same guy, Montel, the guy, I showed up on the chalkboard. He's like, hey, Chad, man, those are nice gloves, man. Let me see one of them. So I handed it to him. He's like, go ahead, look at it. He's like, yeah. And he puts it on. He's like, yeah, this is
getting
nice.
It back.
Let me see the other one.
You're not getting that back.
I gave him the other one. He threw me his gloves. There are holes all in them. It's like, hey, those are yours now.
And it's like, what are you going to do? It's like, all
right, whatever. So, no, that was my experience at first, and I wasn't making friends with the veterans, right? The older guys. Another running back in the room, who's one of my best friends today. His name's David. His roommate who's another one of my best friends. His name's Spencer. Played safety. Spencer is 6'4", 220 pounds. He's just your prototypical safety today. Really big for a safety back then.
Yeah.
Right. They ended up converting him to a linebacker, but
put him in the box.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because he's 6'4", 220 or 230.
Yeah.
He's got a huge.
He needs to be a Sam backer or a Will.
He was a Sam.
Right. There you go.
So but he came as a safety. And I don't know if his roommate David had said something to him at home because he had a vendetta against me. Anytime I touched the ball, it didn't matter how good I was. I would break a tackle, I would shake the whole defense. That dude came and tackled me every time. It was it was like clockwork. I would have a great run, and then somehow number 27 on the defense, wherever he was on the field, came and made the tackle. So when we would watch it in film,
big old dude too,
huge guy. I couldn't do anything with him.
Yeah,
he was so long I couldn't shake him.
Yeah, and too big to run him over.
Too big to run over, especially at that time. I was 185 pounds, so I wasn't very big. And so every time we'd watch film or practice, the next day or later that day, we've cut the film on, we're watching, coaches, running through it, and he shows up on film tackling me. Number 27 tackles me again. His roommate, my boy David, he sat behind me in our room, and he would just lean forward and be like, Daddy's home. Every time he tackled me, Daddy's home.
Did you ever shake him in practice?
No, I didn't.
You never shook him?
I didn't. Well, at least not then. By the time I became the guy, like he had more transition to not playing as much. So one of my best friends to this day, both of those guys.
Yeah.
I've got a crew. It's 5 of us that have been hanging out since college, and we still hang out today. I'm obviously the youngest in that group. These guys are either a year or 2 years older than me, the other 4. But the running back that was whispering Daddy's home, he's in that group. And then the guy 27, the guy who was tackling me, Spencer, he's in that group too.
That is hilarious.
So we're been best friends ever since,
Yeah.
But I walked on, ended up earning a scholarship. Really just had to lock in and focus and compete, and compete at a level that I was actually used to competing at because of becoming a starter as a sophomore in an offense in high school, in an offense that plays 3 running backs. Like, I got to fight for my reps. I got to fight to touch the ball. Like, either that or I'm going to be blocking all the time.
And it's the worst.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yep. So, I had to, when I got my reps, I had to compete, and I had to actually beat out 2 seniors for that starting job as a sophomore. So I was used to competing.
Yeah. You were used to competing.
Yeah.
Because you had 3 running backs on the field, like at the same time. Only one person gets the ball.
Only one.
That's why I never got on offense, because it's like, I'm not blocking. Because they were sticking me at guard. They talking about combo here, a single block there. I'm not. You know what? That's not for me.
You gotta love it. You have to love doing that.
Yeah.
And
I just I couldn't.
And for me, it was something that I accepted. Right. It's something that, like, I'm the youngest. I'm the smallest. Like, the other 2 guys both of them started last year.
Yeah.
So, like, let me earn my stripes. Let me do what I'm supposed to do. So if it's lead blocking on ISO, like, I'm not very big, I'm not very strong, but I will throw my body in here and knock somebody out if I can. So, I was probably
it's all mindset, man.
It is. So I was probably our best blocker, even though I was very small.
You're talking about in high school?
In high school, right? So again, it prepared me for the situation that I was in college. When what ended up happening is that sophomore year, I was third string. I was third string for most of the season. The starting running back, the guy who took my gloves, he ends up tearing his ACL in the second game of the season. So now I'm second string. And then our starter, the starter who's a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, he ends up having a 1,000-yard season. He is freshman he's a sophomore. He's a redshirt sophomore. He's an All-American. He has a fantastic. No, this is my freshman year. So he's a sophomore. He had a fantastic year. But he tears it. I tear my PCL in the third to last game. He tears his PCL in the second to last game. So now we're going into
a race to get healthy.
Yeah. Yes. It's a race to get healthy. We got an ACL, PCL. Those are our top 3.
It's a race to get healthy. Yeah.
So off season, our head coach retires, Joe Novak. He retires. We had a terrible season. We were 2-10.
With an All-American running back still?
Yes.
Jeez.
With an All-American running back and an All-American safety. Safety was a freshman All-American. I think he had like 147 tackles. Something crazy. His name's Alex Kuba.
In college. That's wild.
Rest in peace. But he passed away a few years ago. But
I'm sorry for your loss.
It's all good. We got a new coach. His name's Jerry Kill. Probably heard that name before. Jerry Kill took Minnesota and turned Minnesota around. So right now Minnesota's doing okay. They were doing a little bit better a couple of years ago. That was when Jerry Kill was the head coach. How he got that job, I'll get to that in a second. But Jerry Kill came from Southern Illinois to Northern Illinois. He's another guy who really liked running backs. When he was at Southern Illinois, his starting running back was a guy named Brandon Jacobs. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
I know that name.
Okay. So he got to Northern Illinois, and we were primarily a zone offense. We ran outside zone, inside zone, and in every variation of that. When Coach Kill got there, we really only had 2 runs. We had power and inside zone. That's all we ran. And then we'd run zone read, we would run Q power, and which we had to lead block on as a running back. So we didn't do a whole lot, but we did those two things, and we did them very well. So I remember it was probably the third game of my sophomore year. Or no, let me get back to the beginning. The beginning of that year. I'm spring ball. I'm competing with everybody. I am the best running back on the field.
And you're off injury now.
I'm healthy. I was the first one healthy. Right? So I'm learning this new offense while they're still rehabbing.
Oh man,
I'm.
It's like compounded.
Oh,
like
yeah.
They're farther and farther behind.
Right.
Because they have to learn the offense too.
Right. And already I have the advantage there. Because this will be their third offense in 3 years.
Yeah.
This is my second offense in 2 years.
And it's more complex of an offense than before.
Right. So spring ball, I'm killing it. It's not even close. Not even close. There are 4 running backs that are hurt, including myself. The two guys who are ahead of me, and there's another guy who's in my class. His name is Ricky Kreider. He's the running back coach at Brownsburg High School right now. Ricky broke his compound fracture tibia fibula against Wisconsin my freshman year.
Is that big bone in your thigh?
Yeah. Part of it was my fault.
How so?
It's 1,000% my fault.
How so?
I mean, we're playing Wisconsin at the Big House. Did you ever get to go up to the Big House?
No,
I mean, not the Big House. I'm sorry, but whatever Wisconsin's stadium's name. You never got to go up there.
Nah, I never got to go.
Scariest thing I ever did in my life as a true freshman. I'm also on every special teams. Like I said, I'm third on the depth chart at running back. Second, well, I was third this game because I got in trouble, so they moved me down to third. And I was so happy I got moved down.
Hang on, what did you do?
I don't even remember. I may have fallen asleep in class and got class checked.
Dang.
Something silly.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be the second string running back during this game. So opening kickoff, I'm on all the special teams. Opening kickoff, at least this is like game 4. Game 1, I was on all special teams too. We played Iowa, and I was special teams player of the week. I had like 6 tackles. I never played special teams in my life, but I was elusive enough that you couldn't block me, and I could get down
kickoff
there.
is simple.
Kickoff, punt, right?
Yeah.
Run really fast.
Go hit it.
And hit.
Go get him.
It's a mindset, right? It's a mindset.
Do you know what position you were?
So I don't remember what position I was R5 as a freshman.
I know. I know you. Right down the middle.
Just right down.
Right down the middle.
Just run right down. And that was back when they could do wedges. So think about playing. We played Minnesota this year. No, we played Minnesota next year. Yeah, I'll talk about that one in a second. But think about playing Wisconsin. You're a true freshman. You're 18 years old. I guess I was 19. But I'm 185 pounds, and I'm R5. And they got offensive linemen back there at 22-year-old, 320-pound dudes just waiting to hit me, right? But I was doing really well on special teams. I was having a lot of tackles. So what I didn't realize, and I didn't understand this about kickoff because this is my first year ever doing kickoff, is being short set. So we're opening kickoff.
Yep.
Opening kickoff. Running down.
And is this the first game of the season?
It's like the third or fourth game of the season. But I'm running down, like, the guy who's immediately in front of me, he takes off to my left. He doesn't go backwards. He takes off to my left. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh, man.
I'm about to blow this wedge
And
all the way.
this is before blindsiding, targeting.
Oh, yeah. None of that was the thing.
Yeah.
None of that was the thing. So I see him disappear. I'm like, cool, I'm running down. Next thing I know, I get lifted up and tossed like 2 lanes over, right? So I end up landing on my teammate, on the other running back. I broke his leg. I know it's messed up. I broke it. He hit me so hard. This dude's two lanes over, and I went and ran right into his leg, compound fracture.
Oh my God.
The not a second has clicked off the clock, and there's an ambulance on the field.
You done got folded.
Right.
You're raised. His leg's broken.
I look down.
You don't know what. You don't even know what
like,
happened.
Somebody.
You don't even know what happened. Somebody
come
help.
He's screaming.
Somebody help.
So yeah.
Oh, that is crazy. You said it's 1,000% my fault.
Oh yeah. So then, when the starting running back got tired or whatever, and they put the second string running back in, this is why I'm glad I wasn't second string, because I remember standing on the sideline and we ran outside zone towards our sideline. The second string running back is just getting. He's just getting funneled to the sideline. He's not gaining any yards. He's just getting funneled to the sideline, to the sideline, to the sideline. As soon as he gets to the sideline, he gets creamed right in front of me. And I'm just like, oh, God, I'm glad I'm not playing today.
I'm not going. You done broke somebody's leg. Right. You done got folded 2 lanes over. You see your homeboy get crazy. Like, I'm
get
not.
carted out of here. Yeah.
Ambulance on the field. It's like, can we just let's just pack it up.
Let's just get out of here. Let's get out of here alive, guys. So that was my Wisconsin story. When I got back to my sophomore year, Jerry Kill, new head coach, coach put the 2 running backs that were already over me from the previous year. He put those guys ahead of me. He put the other guy that I broke his leg, who was never ahead of me. He put him ahead of me. Then they recruited another running back, a freshman out of Mississippi. His name is Miko Brown. Really talented kid. Really talented. Quicker than fast, but as quick as you've ever seen. Yeah. And put him above me. So now going into fall camp, after me killing it in spring ball, going to fall camp, I'm number 5 on the depth chart.
This is your sophomore year.
This is my sophomore year. I ended up pulling my hamstring in camp, and I played through it. Right, I wasn't gonna stop. So
man, that's painful.
Yeah, it is. I did it. I tore it when I got to the NFL, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to Minnesota. It's opening game of my sophomore year at Minnesota. My head coach comes up to me. He's like, normally I don't take 5 running backs to a game, but the other coaches said that they need you on special teams, so I'm taking you. Only reason why I got to get on the bus. And the only special teams I was on was punt block. And
you got off kickoff.
And I've never done punt block before. I've never played any type of defense in my life besides running down kickoff as a freshman and making that tackle. So now I'm on punt block, not as a sniper, the guy's holding up the gunner, because I could excuse my language, I could not do that. But as somebody actually holding up on the interior and going for the block. So we've been practicing this block all camp for Minnesota, and I'm getting there every time. And I'm using like kind of a weird technique too, like nothing that I've ever been taught on. How
you're just doing your own thing.
Ball, put your hands together, or ball off the toe.
Stick them out, not up.
Yeah. All that. Don't leave your feet. All that kind of stuff. Well, the way that I blocked this was, and I did it the same way in practice. I did it in practice. Is I would start wide and fast. I was the number 2, so there's somebody outside of me.
Okay.
I would start
2 from the outside.
I was number 2 from the outside on the left, right? I would start wide and fast, and this is more your traditional NFL punt, right?
Right.
And so I was trying to get the wing to back up instead of widen out. So I'm attacking his leverage. I'm trying to get him to back up as much as possible, because they're taught to spread out as the ball snapped. I don't want him to get wider. I want him to stay exactly where he is. So
I wish we had a board so we can draw.
Right, it would be great. So I pushed him vertically so he couldn't widen, and all I did was, because I knew he didn't widen out, I was a lot closer to the punter than the guy knew I was. So instead of running around him, I leaned into him and took my left hand around and blocked the punt with my left hand.
So you blocked the punt while being engaged with the guy?
Yeah. I literally engaged with him with my right hand, reached around him, and blocked the punt with my left hand. It's on YouTube. You can find it.
I'm going to play. I'm going to clip this. I'm going to play it.
So I blocked that. I probably played 4 plays that game, and one of them was a block punt.
Wow. No, block punts change games.
They do. They do. I think we went down to the wire and lost that game pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
But the very next week, Spann can do some things on special teams. Let's put him on kickoff return. So,
there you go.
So now I'm front line on kickoff return.
Oh no.
So I figured out a way to do that. I figured out a way that I do not have to be super aggressive on this and still be successful. And
I don't know how you figured that out.
It's actually pretty easy. Like so a lot of what people don't understand is, or what people try to do on kickoff return is, and what we're taught to do is you run back to a spot, you turn around, and you go engage,
stone them. Yeah.
Right? You go try to stone them. And what I knew what I was taught on kickoff was to long stride. You ever heard that?
Long stride.
Long stride. Yes, our special teams
long
coordinator.
stride. Okay, yeah. Break that down.
So we were taught to long stride, and we did a long stride drill, which was like concussion drill. So what it teaches you is to, on kickoff return or on kickoff, as you're running down the field, you are able to, at a certain distance, you are able to avoid your blocker left or right.
Yes.
But you have to get back on lane, in your lane.
And when you get closer to the runner, then you have to shock and go through him.
And you have to run through him. Mm-hmm. So we call that long striding because you don't shorten your stride to run through him. A lot of people they chop and then fire. No, run through him. So we called it long striding because you had to literally long stride. You couldn't shorten your stride at all, and it would knock people out. It was so funny. That same Minnesota game where I got that block punt, there was a guy who was the guy next to me on kickoff. He was responsible for blowing up the wedge this game.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, I can't imagine having that job.
And so our coach, our special teams coordinator, he always had a saying. He always said, "Sign off on your rep. Sign off on your rep." Mm-hmm. You know, when they cut the film on, you want them to see who you are. Make sure you're signing your name. This is who I am on this rep. We watched this game. My man blew the wedge up, right? And the coach pulls it up on the film a couple days later. The next day, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I can't remember what the fella's name was, but he's like, check him out right here. He circles him with the laser pointer. He's like, check him out. This is what I'm talking about. He signed off on his rep, and you see him, and he runs down, and he just blows up the wedge. And then he said, and then he signed out. And you see dude just turn to the right and just fall out because he knocked himself out. So he signed off on the rep, and then he signed out of the game.
He knocked himself out?
Knocked himself out.
Oh, my God.
So you see him just run down, boom, blow the thing up, and then you just see him slowly just fall to the
Blew up the wedge, but he blew up the wedge.
Blew up the wedge. He signed off on his rep, and then he signed out.
Oh, my God.
So, man, we every week after that, man, I got more responsibility. So I was only on punt block week 1. Week 2, I must have been on punt block, kickoff return. Mm-hmm. And I did that for a few weeks. And I remember this like it was yesterday. We were playing Western Michigan at Western Michigan. I wasn't playing. Now, I thought I was doing a lot better offensively than everybody else, right? Mm-hmm. And I knew I was better than everybody else as a running back, but they weren't giving me an opportunity. And it's hard to get reps as number 5, when you're in season. Mm-hmm. You got 4 dudes are already trying to rep. It's very, very, very hard to get number 5 a rep.
Why do you think they place them over you? Because I've had the same exact experience from spring ball. Now I ain't gonna lie, I didn't kill it, but sure. I had homies that I walked on with that did. Like guys get hurt, like it happens, right? So like a lot of our starters, like first, second, and almost third string, they were sat out. And a guy that I walked on with, his name was Kieran Douglas, and another guy he went to Ben Davis, his name was Elijah Ball. Mike and Will, they had
Elijah's one of my kids.
Yeah,
he played in my program.
Yeah, no, they both had a monster spring ball.
Yeah.
And Elijah, as you know, he was playing out of position.
Yeah.
They put him from safety to Will, and he figured it out fast. He was moving, he was hitting. Like they both had like crazy spring balls.
Yeah.
By the time it came to fall camp and the fall season, like neither one of them got any reps. Yep. You know, so like, why do you think it goes like that? You know,
it's a few things, right? Some of it is play style, right? Mm-hmm. This kid doesn't match the style of play that we want to play, and that's probably for me the biggest issue. I did not, like I said, I was small, mm-hmm. and we ran a zone offense when I was a freshman. I wasn't. It's not that I couldn't, but like that just running gap scheme, and this is something that I figure I've learned as a football coach and as a player at the highest level. Like, gap schemes and zone schemes are completely different. And as a running back, visually seeing them and understanding your keys in both of those systems are completely backwards. They're opposite.
How so? Because I never understood this. So, explain that to me.
So if I'm running, let's say I'm running zone to the right.
Yep.
Okay? If I'm running, let's say, outside zone to the right or even inside zone, really doesn't matter. But all 5 of my offensive linemen are going to move to the right.
Yep.
Okay? Let's say I run power. Okay? I'm going to run power to the right. Okay? 3 of my offensive linemen are going to move to the left.
Yep.
One's going to move to the right, and one's going to pull. So visually, it's very different seeing guys move the same way, the same direction as the play versus the opposite direction of the play. So understanding what your cues are to know when to hit the hole or when to bounce, or it's completely different. You look at guys like Trent Richardson, who was running back for went to, I believe, Alabama, went to the Cleveland Browns,
and went to the Raiders,
and then went to the Colts, then went to the Raiders.
He went to the Colts and Raiders,
and shoot, the Colts gave up a whole lot for him because Andrew Luck was drafted number 1, he was drafted number 3, and then we traded a first-round pick to bring him too. So we had number 1 and number 3 pick in the same draft in our backfield. He came from Alabama where they ran zone. He struggled in Cleveland because they ran gap. He struggled in Indianapolis because we ran gap. And then even in the Raiders, I remember it was like one of the last plays that he played. It was they ran power, and the hole is there. He walks into the end zone. He bounces it outside. He doesn't understand what he's looking at. And that's a big thing when it comes to our position. So anyways, I don't know why they did it. I don't know why they moved me down, to be honest with you. I didn't fit that scheme at that time, but everybody else was bigger than me. Yeah. And except for the freshman that they brought in, and he was just special. He was just a very, very, very quick player who you can give him a screen, you can get him out in space, and he's gonna
just give him the ball.
Right, and he's gonna make things happen. Now he's not gonna take it 80. He's not gonna take it 80 because he's gonna get caught. But he's gonna take it 35, 40, and until somebody catches him, he's gonna break free.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to
we haven't gotten to
anything. We haven't gotten to anything.
We haven't gotten anywhere outside of football because I feel like, and I'm told this, and I don't tell my story very often, but I know I've got a pretty compelling story of my journey in football and how it has advanced my career, advanced my life, and brought me, met my wife, started my family, all because of football. And I'm where I am even now in my job. It has nothing to do with football, but the things that football has provided in my life has put me down this path of where I want to be. So
same with me. Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into this football stuff, but there's also equally the results of it. I always say football's a means to an end, and a lot of kids don't understand that. Football's not going to last forever. You're going to not play football way more years than you are going to play football.
100%.
So understanding that and understanding while you're playing this game, while you're able to play this game, get everything you can out of it, because this is not a end-all be-all, but it's a head start for the rest of your life. Yeah. So it can be a head start. It also can be.
It can be a huge hindrance.
It can be a huge hindrance.
Yes.
Because in I'll give you an example of me, and then I'll take back to the football. Coming out of the NFL, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and a lot of people don't. A lot of players don't. I played 5 years. I went to school to be.
You didn't think about nothing else but football for 5 years.
I went to school to be an English teacher so I could be a football coach and a high school English teacher. When I got out of the NFL, I don't want to teach anymore. I don't even want to coach. Like, I just want to sit around and do nothing. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I
know you're tired. I know you're tired.
So And that's one of the organizations that I'm a part of now is the NFLPA. I'm a part of the Indianapolis chapter of the NFLPA, and that's one of the focuses that I've kind of made our premise is being able to provide support for those kids that are coming out of the NFL that don't know what's next. Yeah. So that's one of the main missions of mine right now that I'm always working towards, always trying to find ways to benefit those guys because. I wish I had that support when I got out of the NFL.
Does the NFLPA exist when you got out of the NFL?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They just this is more like a community thing than it is, like the association's supposed to step in and do these things. It's no, you got to step out. You got to show your face and show that, hey, I need help, which is. Hey, we've been macho dudes for
that's a whole other conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how to have that conversation. I don't know how to ask somebody for help.
Asked my mom for help this morning, and she cussed me out. It's like, how you gonna ask me to ask for help and you can cuss me out?
Right.
Anyways, go ahead.
So that's been one of my biggest missions since I've been out of the NFL, is making sure that I am providing opportunities for. I'm either providing or helping, giving guidance to the guys that are as soon as they leave the NFL, and then I also, like I've mentioned, that you played with Boss Elijah Ball, who was one of my kids. I made it a point while I was a teacher and a coach and running my 7-on-7 organization that I mentored those young boys to understand what it's like to be a man, understand what it's like to be a college athlete, what it's like to transition from being a college athlete to a civilian, what it's like to transition from a college athlete to an NFL player. I've got, I want to say 6 active NFL players right now who've all been through my program. David Bell, you played with at Purdue. Julius Brents, who was the starting quarterback at the Colts, now he's with Miami. Jack Kaiser and Jay Higgins, those were the number 1 and number 2 ranked college linebackers last year. One went to Iowa, one went to Notre Dame. They both were in my program here in Indiana. Indy Select is what it was called. So that's just to name a few. So we've got a bunch of guys there, and I still talk to them. I still mentor them.
That's amazing.
And I'm even doing it now with more, because NIL and things like that. Now I'm doing it with high school students as well, making sure that now they're getting their things in order that they need, because I was 23 years old getting $17,000 checks every week, not knowing what to do with it. You know what I mean? So
$17K a week.
And we will get into that in part 2.
We have to.
We will definitely,
because we didn't get to anything.
We will get into that.
We didn't get to anything today. This has been so much fun. So much fun. Like, we didn't get anywhere, but we talked about the entire time.
Sure.
But no, we are going to table this for a part 2 at some point. So we need to get that on the calendar. And you have a meeting that I'm going to let you go for.
Yeah, I do have a 3 o'clock.
Yes. But for those that tune in for the first half of this conversation, we appreciate you coming on and listening. I hope you enjoyed the first half of Chad's hilarious, crazy story. But no, as a ball player myself and a ball coach, like I can talk about this. I ain't gonna lie. Like, next time I might actually bring a whiteboard so we can get on the board.
Do it.
I to be honest, I actually might. But thank you guys for tuning in so much. Once again, this is the FBA podcast. Tune in next time for a part 2. Chad Spann.
Let's do it soon now.
Oh yeah, no, trust me, I'm trying. I need to get on your calendar. But yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem at all, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course.